session.
Yeah. So we are looking at NumPy operations. So once we have created our 2D or one-dimensional arrays of numbers of NumPy arrays, how can I do mathematical operations on them? So it's a new script. I'm importing the NumPy library as NP again. I'm creating an array ARR, which is basically this, right? So I can perform operations like AR plus ARR or addition. It will perform element wise, index wise addition, right? I'm saying element wise, index wise means first element plus first element of the second array, second element plus second element of the second array, right? I can do index wise, element wise multiplication, or just index wise multiplication. That will be more correct. So first item into first item, second item into second item, third item to third item. So 1 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, 5 into 5. I can do uh, division and subtraction. Subtraction like this. Division is this. I'm getting a warning because this is 0 by 0, so it is not a number. I can do 1 by AR. It is also giving me a warning because this thing 1 by 0 is kind of infinity. So for rest all other, I'm getting this whatever value output, whatever my this operation is 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5. I can raise it to some power like this. All the elements, so 0 cube, 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, 4 cube, by raising it to power. So it's common notation. Now we have some universal function, just like in Excel we have no, just like Anup was saying, square root function, average, mean, all that. So numpy dot square root ARR, I can do something like this. I can get exponent ARR, right? So raise all the element to 1 to the power e, right? I don't know if I can do this now, but yeah. So just yeah. So this operation is doing all the elements. So whatever. So suppose these are the elements A, B, C, D, E, F of my ARR, like 2 dimensions. So e to the, when I do np dot exponential ARR, it is basically raising every element to e to the power A, e to the power B, e to the power C, e to the power D, e to the power E, like this, e to the C, F to the power E, right? Like this. Okay. So yeah, so next I have I can find the np.max in the array. In my array, what is the maximum value? I can find the sign of my array, right? So I can create a sign, curve, cos curve, or any kind of mathematical distribution. I can do like this. np.sign. I can find the sign of any number. Also, I can find the sign of all the array elements also, right? And sign of all the numbers. Then I can do log of all the numbers. Now log of 0 is not defined. That's why I'm getting minus infinity.
Yes.
So if you guys like, I think
Yeah.
you'll remember, yeah. So like the graph
Yeah.
is like this. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is the graph for,
Infinity.
yeah. So it is tending to 0. So that's why it's minus infinity. Cool. So next, yeah, this is also done. So this kind of operations we can do. And now we come to this exercise which you guys have to do by yourself, right? You have to import. So all the questions are given. Create a number array of zeros, arrays of 1, array of 5s, right? This is you. We can do that by using this, of course, right? Now we can create an array of integers from 10 to 50. Create all the array of even integers from 10 to 50. A range function, right? Very simple. All whatever we have seen. 3 by 3 identity matrix. Then we have to generate 25 random numbers sampled from normal distribution. We have to use np.random.rand n, right? So all this kind of matrix, using indexing to fetch this particular rows, right? All this is for your homework. Now it's time for discussion. Whatever problems did you face or in the assignment and exercise? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because for now after this exercise,
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir.
yeah,
Go ahead, Chaitanya. Go ahead.
so this
It's
yeah, continue.
no. I don't have any question. We can continue.
So basically, I was just saying, after this NumPy exercise, once you complete this, we'll start with pandas in the next class, which is kind of the main starting point for data analysis, data visualization. Okay, so more Yeah. So before that, we should be very comfortable with like Python and this NumPy. I just want you to ask whatever you tried, what if you don't try, then tell me you didn't try it, or we can
Yeah,
try
yeah.
together here. Okay. Our ultimate thing is you have to like do program, right? Doing it yourself is the thing.
Yeah, I just posted that thing, print in the chat box. I just got it from one of
Yeah. So it will print this.
the Instagram pages. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
as a
You can.
beginner, I'm
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Then go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. So basically, this two you so you this is what a string. You want to add like a string to a number integer 40, right? So I think it will not work.
Yeah.
So if you convert it into string, then maybe you can get something out. End of line sentence. Yeah, like this. So it is same, just it is concatenating, just pasting these two strings together, right? But if it is not a number, then it's a problem, right? You're getting, no, it's saying actually it is saying can only concatenate string, not into string. It will say if you give me two strings, I will add them, paste them, and print the output. But I cannot paste together, concatenate. Means add together a string and a integer, right? Say that's what. Yeah. On the exercises, if you have any issues, you can just share your screen. We can maybe discuss, or
Okay, sir.
yeah, I will be stop sharing now.
Yes, sir. Like
You have to
uh,
provide permissions.
we we need certain simple programs. Like I found a bit difficult in that guessing the
Game, yeah.
hello,
Yes. I get it. I
hello,
get it.
hello.
Hello, yes, Anup. You're
Yeah, because
yeah.
that number game, like a bit more simple, we can start, and you can provide us how can we approach
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. You're talking
one
about the guessing the game
problem. I
challenge,
mean,
no?
approach is one thing. Yeah, guessing the number. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's completely understandable. So we will discuss it completely. That's what I'm asking you guys if you face any issues. So that
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
let's kind of like
yeah. Even
yeah, top matlab, if you do it, if you understand it, we'll go through it once, it will be fine for you. So that's why it was a pretty little advanced, right? Some of the things. That's why I gave it to, so that it was kind of an
yeah.
application we can build. We will build it together, right? So I
Okay, yeah,
think
yeah,
Chaitanya needs to join, but where is he?
yeah. So yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Chaitanya is not able to join for some reason.
yeah.
Okay.
We will
Yeah, share the recording.
discuss, sir, because I'm uh, so that I can join from the command prompt.
Yeah, cool. So you are sharing your screen, right?
You can tell me, sir. I will type.
Yeah. Open your so
I've just typed the CD. It is changed directory.
okay. Yeah.
And
Wait, maybe like we can do it. So have you are you in the have you did you get the solutions? No, I gave you the solutions also. So maybe we can start with here on we can so will you share your screen, or like should I do it on my screen and I can give you a walkthrough how to approach,
yeah,
right?
you can give the approach, sir, because
Yeah.
yeah, it would be better.
Okay. So right, we will. So basically, this is we are discussing.
You can give it.
Yeah. So this is the game we are discussing. Okay. So using just basic Python, if else, for, range, random, all these function, basic Python functions, I want to build a guessing game program. Okay. A guessing game is where we will think of a number in my mind, and I will ask a user to guess a number, and I will give him hint so that he ultimately guesses the number which I am thinking. Okay. So basically, maybe I can just start with yeah, maybe, but paint you cannot see, right? So this is what we want is, so there is a number, my number, or you can say, yeah, my number. Okay, there's a uh,
I think you can. I think yeah.
yeah, right. So there is any number like 25, right? Now I will ask, so basically this is my number. Now I will ask user for guess, right? I will ask his guess. I will record his guess, matlab in like guess is equal to 65. Now I will give hint whether it is far from 65 or close from 65 based on this logic. So if within 10 of the number, return warm, further 10 away of the number, return cold. So basically I will just say cold or warm in the first type, and it says just, yeah, so right, I have, so it is 65. I will say cold. This will make him understand that we am farther from the goal, so he can go up to in two directions, because his guess should be between 1 to 100. This we have to make sure programmatically, right? I will ask him, tell me a number between 1 to 100. His guess is 65. I will hint cold, or I will say print out cold, right? He will then ask for new guess. His new guess will be what, say 40. Right now I will say closer than the number than the previous guess, return warmer. Second logic is, if the number is farther than from the previous number, basically previous number was 65, 45 is closer than 65 to 25, right? So I will say what, warmer. And if it is more than, if the answer is, if the second guess is 70, I will return what, colder, right? So basically at the end, the by giving this hint called colder warmer, he will be able to actually guess my answer, guess my number, right? So so my number is 25, which I wanted to want him to guess. Then his first guess is what, if he says 60, I will say cold. Then he will say 70, I will say warm. No, I will say colder, sorry. Yes, right, I will say, so yeah. Next I will say colder, because he said 70. Next he says what, 45, I say warmer. Then he says 30, I say warmer. Then he say 10, I say colder. Then he say 15, I say warmer. Then he says 20, I'll say warmer. Then he say 24. So ultimately he will tend to my number 25, right? This is my goal by using this, giving him this guesses. And I have to make it an interactive session, interactive program, so that user should be able to enter some number, and using that number I have to perform some calculation, some multiplication, division, right? So that we will look at. So let's clear everything off and start with programming. Okay, so we'll go through the instructions, right? So basically it says, let's use while loop to create the guessing game. While loop, we are using this while loop because I want this game to run until the guess is equal to my number. Okay, until this condition is true, because I have to keep asking him. Okay, so I have to challenge is, write a program that picks a random integer between 1 to 100 and has players guess the number These are the rules. The rules is if player guess is less than 1 or greater than 100, say out of bounds, because I want them to guess between 1 to 100. So if they enter a number like -1 or 500, I should say print out of bounds. On a player's turn, if their guess is within 10 of the number, so whatever the first guess is, if it is within 10 of the number, return warm. It is more than 10, then you return cold. And on all subsequent turns from all the next time, second term, fourth. So first time I should say warm or cold. For second, third, fourth, fifth time I should say warm or colder. Right. When the players guess equals the numbers, tell them they have guessed correctly. Right. So ultimately, whenever he makes the correct guess, then tell him yes, you won, congratulations, just like a normal game, right? So let's first is we have to create the main number which we want the user to guess. So to create it, we will use random number, okay? Because for every time we want it to be a new number, right? So I can hard code it like number is equal to 25, but that will be fixed. I want to make it more versatile. So I'll use import random. I'll from number is equal to random randint between 1 to 100, right? This is my number which the user should be guessing is a random integer between, let's print it, 79, right? So if I run it again, then it changes. So once it is fixed, it is at 60. Now I want my user to guess 60. Next is print an introduction to the game and explain the rules. So basically, it's if it is a game I want to give it to my friends, then I should give all the instructions. So I'll just print multiple print lines, printing all the statements. This is what the user will see on his screen. Welcome to the guess me. I'm thinking of.
I think one minute.
Yeah.
In the second time, the number changed. It is like automatically it is generating.
Yes. So it means now run this now again. So if I run it, it will change 69. So once I have run it, so basically we have to run the whole program once.
It's a random.
Yeah, random. Yeah. It is changing. So when we are running it, finally we will run only once. So for a game, for every other game, we will run it again. It's like that. Otherwise, I have to like manually change the number. No, if like if I played this game 5 times, I should not remember. Okay, the computer is always asking for number 69. Okay, it should keep changing for that. Right. So we have printed all the rules by using the print statement like this. Now I want next step is to create a list to store the guesses. So I want to create a list of guesses which will store that guess of the user. I have initialized it with one element 0, right? So 0 is a good placeholder value. It's useful because it evaluates to false. So basically this I'm storing a value of 0 by default also, because 0 also means false in Boolean. 1 2 3 4 5 all means true, only 0 means false, right? So I can use it later. So write a while loop that asks for a valid guess, test it a few times to make sure it works. So basically I have to write a while loop which should ask for a valid guess. Valid guess means input from the user, right? So let me just, so basically if I want to take input from the user, I can use something like this. I can say number is equal to, I have to use this keyword input, right? Input, and I will say enter a number, right? I'll say enter a number. If I run it, it will, so it is, see there is a star mark over here. It got stuck. Now until I enter a number, it will be running. This become gray. It is asking, everything has stopped to ask for a number. Enter a number, I will say 100. Enter, it is done, right? Enter is stored. Now if I print number in the new cell, so I have to enter number first, so maybe say 18. Now if I run number here, print number here, my number is 18. See, it is like a string has been stored. If I check the type of this thing is what? It's a string. So yeah, so basically this is input method function. This allows us to take any input from the user in form of a string, right? So how can I, so suppose I want to keep asking it until, so here, like if I run this, I have to enter a number and I run this. I again have to run this, enter a number, and then I have to again run it manually every time after entering a number. Okay, so that's what I don't want. I want it to automate it so that until a certain condition. So I ask him for a number. If I enter all the integers, it will all the alphabets, it will take that too. So it should print now. If I enter anything other than the number, they should print me, okay, enter a number only, or I should give enter a number between 1 and 100, right? So it's still, if or not, someone can still enter a number between or something other than number. So I would need to keep a check, right, like this. So it is taking that number, but if I run this and I enter something else also, like 6, this big number, it is taking that number also. But I want it to not take the values unless some condition is satisfied. So how can I do that? So I'm entering a number or a name also, it is taking, see, name, whatever, it is taking all the values, just reading values without any filter. How can I apply a filter? So I'll write a while true loop. While true, like keep running, keep running this loop like unless we stop it, okay, because this thing is always true, it will keep on running. So I'm creating a variable guess. I'm taking int input. I'm thinking of a number between 100. What is your guess? So basically it is hinting that enter a number between 1 to 100, and I'm converting my input into int, right? So basically if I convert it into int and like this, and if I run it, I enter a number 200,000. If I check its type, it's int. If I print the number, it's what? Right, it's a, now if I run it again, if I enter what, a string, say hello, it will be an error. Why? Because this function will fail. Because this function int cannot convert hello into an integer. That's why it will fail. So this can also work like a safety net for us, right? So I am converting it into integer, and after that I am applying this condition. So I am storing the guess. If guess is less than 1 or guess is more than 100, print out of bounds. Please try again. Please enter between. Please try again. Enter between 1 to 100. Okay, if I run this, so and after this, continue again. You ask this question, right? And if this condition is not there, then you break, right? If this is true, then you can't come out of this, you break the loop. That means keep asking for a number, and if the number is not integer, you say it was please out of bound, try again. And once it is in, so if it does not go in this loop, then it will go to break, right? The code flow is like that. While true, while it is true, do this thing and check this condition. If it is not true, then break it. If it is true, then you continue to the loop. It's right. This is the meaning of this thing. Maybe we did a mistake here because I ran it again, so it got stuck. So I have to go to kernel and restart. Yeah, now I restart. When this circle becomes transparent, or you can say circle. Yeah, when I run this and think what's your guess, so I'll say 45. It is taken. If I run it again, if I enter something like 670, it is out of bounds. Please try again later. Enter between 1 to 100. If I say 450, it will not take. If I say hello, right, so it is throwing an error based on hello. Nahi ho raha. So it is throwing me an error. I have to enter a number between 1 to 100. Then only it will work. We can also put a if condition. Maybe you can try that to check whether it is a string or not, right? Directly here, you check, store it here. Then if it is a string, you say, please enter a number. Then if it is a number more than this condition, you can use two if conditions also. This is just one way of doing it. You can think of doing other ways also, right? There is no need of doing int here. You can just take the input, check it. So if it is, if guess is equal to type of guess is equal to str, then say enter a number. Elif, then you can put one more condition. If guess type guess is equal to integer and guess is less than more than between 1 and 100, then do this. That you can, that can be a different approach that you can try, right? So this continue keyword means if this condition is true, then you continue, otherwise you break the loop. It will break out of the loop once it is done, right? Next is next while so I have to write a while loop that compares the player's guess to our number. If the player guesses correctly, break the loop. Otherwise, tell the player they are warmer or colder, and continue asking for guesses. So basically now it's our question where I want to ask the user, okay, what is your guess? Compare based on the guess. I should say warm, cold, colder, warmer, like that. So right, so I will take the guess, same, this is the same previous code. Now I will say if guess is equal to number, means if my guess, whatever the number he entered is equal to the number, main number that I want him to guess, you say print congratulations, you guessed it only in this many guesses. It is the length of guesses. So guesses is the list which is storing the numbers, right? So if he guesses in the first go, it will print 1, right? Then I will break. If this thing is not true, then we'll come down. Whatever my guess is, whatever my input is, I will store in the guesses list. Guesses dot append guess. So whatever my the user enter in the output, in the input, if it is not equal to my number, you append or add this now guess to my guess list. Okay, now I will check this condition. If guess is -2, means if this thing is true, then you do this, otherwise you do this, right? What is this thing? This thing is what? The second last number, -2. We have the in list we have seen, no, the last number. Let me just yeah, so we have seen a list. So we have, so I have is my list of numbers, right? So it, suppose it has 0, 1, 2, right? So I can fetch, right? So say G0 is what? 0, and G of my 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 2 is 2. G of -1 is also 2, because my reverse index. So mine G of -2 will always address to this item, right? Suppose my guess list is now this 0, 7, 8, 6, 4. So -2 will be the second last item. So if second last item is true or false, so basically if this number is anything other than 0, if it is 0, or it can be any other number. So if it is 0, then it is false. For any other number, it is true, right? So basically this whole logic is for for checking whether it is the first guess or the subsequent guess, right? So I have started my list from my first element in the list. The guess list is initialized from 0, right? So after the first input, my guess list will become what? 0 comma some number, whatever his number is. His number was say 65, right? So -2 will refer to this number, right? If this is 0, then it means that this is the first guess of the user, right? Otherwise, for every, so if it is the third guess, that means 0, first item is 65, then he number said 45, then the number is presently said 35. So now -2 will be 45. Before that, -2 will be 65. But only for the first number, -2 will be the index of the 0 thing, and it will be 0. It will be false, right? So we can use this logic, right, to get. So if it is the first, if it is the not, if it is the first guess of the user, if it is the first guess of the user, right, and if the absolute number minus guess is less than number minus guess -2, print warmer, otherwise print colder. So the logic here is, let me just clear it all. Now what is the logic to print warmer and colder? If whatever your guess is, present guess is what? 0 and 65, right? If 65 and my number is what? My number is, say, suppose what, 40. I want him to guess his number. If absolute, basically I'm just using absolute for removing the minus sign. If the difference 65 minus 40 is less than the previous guess, so there is in this case no guess, 65 minus 0 minus 40, right? So it is lesser than, it is not lesser than, right? Print warmer, so I will print colder. It is not there, so I will print I will not print colder, right? So basically I have to compare every guess with the previous guess, whether it is closer to my number or not, right? So I have guesses like this: 0, 65, 25, right? So first time he guesses 65, we should print what? My number is what? 40. So it is cold because it is far from my number, 10, more than 10 away. Else if the number minus guess is less than 10, print warm or cold, right? So this is the logic which we apply for the very first time, right? So if my number minus guess is this is the logic for comparing every. So if the next guess is closer to 40 than 65, the previous guess, I will say warmer. right? So warmer, colder. If with every guess, if the user is going towards my number, then it is warmer, warmer, warmer. If it is at any step going away, farther away from the goal, from the number, it is colder, right? So just this logic we have to apply here. Right, so basically for the first time, so if my absolute will give me the absolute value, so number is 40, guess is 75, the answer is negative, but I want to just take the difference, not the sign. So absolute function is the mathematical function which gives me what, just the value, not the sign. So right, this minus 25 minus 65 will become 65 and 25, right? Absolute of number minus guess is the previous. This thing will refer to the previous guess. Just remember the previous guess, right? Currently whatever he guessed, the previous guess. So if this difference is bada, then you say warmer, right? That means I am getting closer, my new guess is closer to num than previous guess, that means I want warmer, otherwise colder. And otherwise, if the number is less, so if it is not, if this will part of code will run if this condition is not true, right? So if this is not true, means this is the first time the user is given guess, we are asking for guess. Then if the number minus guess is less than 10, say warm and cold, because for the first guess we have to print warm and cold. For every other guess we have to print warmer and colder, right? So if I run this, I'll get what, so I'm thinking number, say I'll say 67, right? It's say num is not defined. So when num is not defined, that means we have to define this, because we restarted it once, right? The kernel it's 66, so my answer is 66. I should not enter directly, right? That was pretty close. So if I now enter 23, it will say what, guess list is not defined. Okay, so we have to define the guess list again. Yeah, now if I run this, it asks what is, so I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 100. What is your guess? My guess is 56. It will say warm. My guess is 34. It will say colder, because my answer is, I know 66. 56 is closer to my number, it is warm. 34 is farther from my number, I'll say colder. Now I will enter 1. It will say colder. I will enter 4. Now it will say warmer, because from 1 to 4 I'm getting closer to my goal. I'll enter now 56. It will say what, warmer. I'll say 90. It will say colder, because 56 is closer to 66. 90 is far, right? Now I will enter what, 78, right? So I should enter what now, 60. I will warmer. I will enter now 71. It will say colder, no, warmer, because this is more closer. Now I will do 67. I will do 66. It will say yes, only in 11 guesses. This I want to print whenever it is equal, right? So let's again check the code, sorry, the program. If my guess, so basically I'm taking, while true, I'm running this loop forever. I'm taking the input from the user, then I'm checking if my guess is between 1 or 100 or not. Otherwise I'm asking the user to print again. Then if my guess is equal to number, I'm breaking and printing congratulations. If not, then I'm adding the current guess to the guess list, and I'm using the guess list for this logic, warmer and colder, right? If this is not the, if this is the first is false, that means it is the second, suppose it is second, third or fourth guess, then if the number minus, if the present guess is closer to the previous guess, you print warmer, otherwise colder. And if it is the first guess of the user, then print warm and cold. Like this we are able to finish. So this is, I think, good only, right? And we have less than 1 minute remaining, so I think you take a look at this, try it yourself. If you face any issues, we can discuss in the next class, right? Probably we can have a class.
Sir, once we will try, sir.
Yeah, cool. You try it yourself. If you face any issues, we can discuss in the next class. Okay, so let's.
And I'll add one more thing, like if possible, if guesses are not done within 5 guesses are not done.
Yes, that you can do.
Yeah. You have lost your chance.
So you can do length. If length of guesses is more than 5, you say lost.
So
right. So it will end.
I was about to say this. If length of guesses is print,
correct.
You have lost your choice.
Correct. So I think it will end the meeting anytime. So I think it's enough, right? We'll see you in next class.
Yeah,
right?
fine, sir. I will practice, and we want some